Mic check. Check. All right. Good morning. Actually, here super early. So, I was wrong yesterday on my bias to. I wanted to see the market offer a discount into this wick. I'll show that. Um, it's a weekly wick. Okay. So this wick here, as you can see, it didn't even reach the wick, which is just extremely bullish. This wick, I graded the levels of that wick. I don't have the lower levels because I wanted it to stay in the upper half. If it was bullish, which I am bullish on NQ, I called a move higher last week after FOMC, and really before that, to target the relative equal highs up here on the daily chart. So I was wanting to see, because it was Monday, the start of the week, if I'm bullish on the week, I want to see discount offered at the beginning of the week, so a pullback. What that would do is trip retail shorts, right? Trap shorts, and allow smart money to accumulate longs in a discounted price. And so I was watching this wick. I was, wanting it to trade maybe to the upper octant. I didn't really want to see it go to the midpoint at all. I wanted it to stay above the upper quadrant here, preferably. But if it wanted to go there, that's fine. It's permissible. It's allowed to go all the way to here, technically. But I would have been completely content with even just the high of the wick or the upper octant, and that's it. I was not looking for any sort of significant move lower. Now, if I go to the daily, this was yesterday's candle here. You can see that the wick here did not reach the high of that weekly wick that's noted with, obviously, these yellow lines. This gray box here is the new week opening gap right there. It couldn't even reach the low of that. It went to the lower, we'll zoom in here, the lower octant right there. And that's the lowest it could go. So it's just very strong. We have minor buy side here. My main concern is right here. That is my hard set target. I really want to see that taken, and I called that last week. So while I was trying to short yesterday, my overall bias was long. Maybe, I probably should have been quicker to drop the short bias yesterday. The short-term short bias. I should have been quicker to drop it, but the thing about yesterday is that they just pumped it just straight up. It is reasonable to see a short-term retracement in an uptrend, and that did not happen yesterday. They deferred any sort of pullback for the overnight session, and I'll show that. I called a move lower during the overnight session, which that did happen, but it was still a very shallow retracement even in the overnight session. The overnight session really pumped straight up. During Asia session at 8 o'clock, they did run sell side. And I called that it would do that yesterday. But it wasn't any sort of significant move lower, and I wasn't necessarily looking for that. I am looking for these highs. So I just needed to be quicker to drop the short bias yesterday and try to get in on some sort of continuation, or just accept that I missed the long entry and just move on. Like, just be done for the day. But so now I guess go to the 5 minute, maybe. I'll go to the 1 minute. So this was the move lower for sell side. As you can see, it wasn't much. But I knew that they would have to run some sell side before move higher. I was very confident in them doing that because they ran nothing the entire New York session. It's kind of insane that they didn't run anything. After I was done trading, they ran a little bit right here. And while I was trading, this was the only sell side that they ran all day. So it's extremely bullish. I think this is a form of manipulation whenever it's just straight up and the lunch macro doesn't run anything. I mean, when I say the lunch macro ran zero sell side, I am not exaggerating. I'll show that here. 11:30 is right there. And then 1:30 is right there. This time window is the lunch macro. During the lunch macro, you can expect price to run against the underlying move. So the move that is already pre-existing, you expect a move against that. Even if it's just a little bit, it doesn't have to be significant. It can be for a minor sell side liquidity pool and then continue the uptrend. So the underlying move was bullish, obviously. So between this yellow line and this yellow line, you expect some sort of sell side to be taken, whether it be this low, or even just these lows here. Let's just take a gander at this. So optimally, 11:30 to 12:30. I'll annotate 12:30 as well. 11:30 to 12:30, optimally, will set up the lunch macro, meaning it will develop liquidity. And the lunch macro is supposed to run liquidity formed after 10 a.m. as well, optimally. So 10 a.m. is right here. I was not expecting it to come down to here. Yesterday, whenever I was trading it, I had a best case scenario right here at this gap. I wasn't expecting that necessarily, but as a trader, you have to have a best case scenario, and I threw it down here. What I was expecting was, I mean, these lows at a bare minimum. So anyway, forget the 10 o'clock liquidity. Let's see. So there's this low that it ran right before 11:30. That's the only low that it ran all day, other than very, very minor lows. Like right here, that's a little low that it kind of wicked through. And then right here, and then obviously the Judas swing at open. Other than that, there's nothing. This is it. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, they have got to run some sell side, right? So here's the macro. I'm going off memory. I don't remember exactly when I got in. I remember I was using, zoom in here, make sure I get it right. I was using this for value gap as an inversion for value gap. Okay. And then this wick, this long wick here. Okay, this is what I was using yesterday. I got in, I waited for after 12:30. I went live, ready to start looking for an entry right around 12:30, because optimally 11:30 to 12:30 will set up the macro, and then 12:30 to 1:30 will run the macro. It will run the liquidity that formed during 11:30 to 12:30, and then anything after 10 o'clock. My idea was, if a body closes below this inversion for value gap, that validates it, and I will get in short in the inversion for value gap with a stop up here. There is an hourly inefficiency. I'll go ahead and throw that up real quick. I have it on my other chart. All right. I threw the stop up above the midpoint of this hourly for value gap. I liked that it failed to reach the midpoint here. And my idea was it would be nice if it doesn't reach this at all. So I put the stop like right here. I got in right here. Okay. And my other idea was I liked it was respecting this wick. So I said, I think right around in here, if it came back up above this midpoint, like up in here, I would get in short with a stop loss right here. It didn't offer that because it was just stopping dead at the wick midpoint. So that's looking great. And then it gets a close below the inversion, and I get in right here with my stop up here. I have to take some drawdown here, which is annoying the way it happened, because I was going to get in at a better price above this midpoint, but it offered that after the close below this. So that's kind of a warning. That's kind of a warning. But I sat through it. I was patient. And then 1250 hits, we move lower. Awesome. We're respecting this order block really nicely. And again, See the body's not even closing inside of that at all. That's looking great. But this inversion was stopping price here. And then we got to close below it here and below this pivot low. At this point, it should have accelerated. Whenever it came back up above it again, and then the bodies stayed above the midpoint, and then right here, see that? That's a warning that it's going to run highs, potentially. At least it's extremely likely, because it should have ran this low out once it took this one. And it didn't. So, and again, bare minimum, I mean, look at these stack lows here. And here. Okay. At bare minimum, it should have gone here, but it didn't. It runs up, stops me out. I get back in here. Okay. I get back in here with the idea that this will become an inversion for value gap. Okay. Look at the stack lows right here. See that? And then here. And then here. I got stopped out, obviously. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, it did nothing for lunch macro. So I'm pretty sure this is a form of manipulation. I'm pretty sure I've seen ICT talk about if the market is running in one direction for like a prolonged period of time and liquidity's not getting taken in the opposing direction, not even like minor liquidity, it's just running. That is a form of manipulation. I've heard him say that before. I don't remember exactly what video or when or whatever, but I've heard him say that, and this really feels like it to me. Because I was bullish yesterday, but lunch macro should have taken these lows at a bare minimum. There's no reason not to. The idea, I mean, this is a bull flag. I was fading the bull flag because it's up all day at this point. I mean, look at this move up. And then we're right here. And then it doubles the move. It's insane. Maybe not double it, but it moves significantly higher. Absurd, ridiculous. So I got beat up yesterday. That's okay. I suck at continuations. I need to get better at them. I just need to trust that, you know, a pullback isn't going to turn into a manipulation lower and then go higher every single time. Sometimes this is the manipulation and that's it. And then it will just run. That's what happens sometimes. And I seem to never trust that. But, you know, we got my pullback in the overnight session during Asia, just like I wanted, because I said, once it didn't take liquidity during lunch macro, and it just went straight higher, actually, it did exactly what I said it would do. I said one of two things. Because lunch macro didn't do anything, and because it's running so aggressively, they will either continue pumping it straight up all day, or it'll stop short somewhere, potentially at the midpoint of the daily for value gap, and then it won't retrace. I said they could continue pumping it for a while, stop it, and it doesn't retrace. It just goes sideways. It goes flat. It does not offer any sort of retracement, at least any significant one. That's exactly what it did. Okay, I mean, if we zoom out here, look at this. The close for the day is right here, right there. And the high of day is right there. And the low in this consolidation is right here. So it ran up, stopped, went sideways, didn't offer any sort of retracement, and I said they would wait for that retracement during the overnight session because retail traders won't be able to participate, and at least the majority. And then that's exactly what they did during Asia here. They ran sell side and offered discount. So, and this is a nice little move. It's, if you zoom out, it's not much. But that's a nice little retracement lower. And for the lunch macro, I was looking for something maybe not even that big of a move. These I was really confident in. And then I thought, if it could take this one and that one, great. I would be content. But I think what would have been reasonable would be if lunch macro would have run these lows, and if it wanted to be extremely bullish, like extremely bullish, I think it should have done something more like that, realistically. Like if it wanted to keep running, it should have taken sell side, the low-hanging fruit, easy sell side. Don't take these lows, and then just keep running higher. But it didn't even do this. So, that's going to happen sometimes, but it's fine. So I just wanted to break that down a little more thoroughly. I'm pretty sure I went over that yesterday, but thought I'd go over it again because it's a new day. Maybe, I have a different perspective today. I really don't. I mean, I pretty much said what I said yesterday, but yeah, so got our move down during overnight. That's good. And then it ended up using this hourly fair value gap as an inversion fair value gap. There's a couple bodies going below the midpoint on the 1 minute chart. Five-minute chart, one body's going below it by a tick, but if you look at the 15-minute and the hourly, it looks pretty clean. There you go. So, and there's the hourly, just to be thorough, right there. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that now. 30 minutes to market open. I want to be leaning short because it's up a lot. It's up a lot. Again, I'm still shooting for this big picture, but for the morning session, I think I want to be leaning short. There's a really, really big new day opening gap. They'll want to gravitate towards the midpoint. That's what these blue lines are, and this yellow line. That's a approximate new day opening gap. It's a regular trading hours new day opening gap. Technically, I'm using the terminology incorrectly. I got it mixed up a while ago and didn't realize. It's really regular training. It's really a regular training hours opening gap. The new day opening gap is technically what forms after 4:59 p.m. whenever the market closes. There's that hour break in trading, and then at 6 p.m. it opens back up. Whatever gap is formed during that time is technically the new day opening gap. I've been getting that wrong. I thought that was electronic trading hours opening gap, and then this was regular trading hours in dog, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Terminology doesn't matter. I'm using the levels correctly, so that's what really matters. But I just threw this up here where it may or may not open, and then The low is anchored to yesterday's closing price right there. So I want to see price gravitate towards the midpoint, and it's generating a lot of sell side. All these lows here, I mean, these two equal lows are really clean. And then there's kind of some stacked lows in here, low, 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 right? Clean lows right there. Took some sell side here. There's a lot of stacked lows right here as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Non-farm is on Friday. They can justify really big swings on Friday. I could see them pumping it straight up continuously to hurt anybody trying to go short. I still want to see a retracement this morning, even if it's a small one. But I said what I'm trying to get at is that it could have a small retracement, take minor buy side, maybe not even reach the mid gap closure, and then leave all these stacked lows in here, right? Leave them, pump straight up, just continue this pumpage up above minor buy side, and then ultimately this here. See how clean that is? They're gonna take that out. So they could pump it up here before Friday, and then on Friday justify a move all the way back down for any sort of sell side that they left intact. And they could, the non-farm high impact news can be a quote justifiable reason for the market to do something that aggressive. But that's just theory. There's no way to know what they are going to do on non-farm payroll. I would like to see some sort of retracement. I guess I'll go to the daily. So there's this daily fair value gap. Yesterday, we did end up closing below the midpoint by a little bit. Today, we're trading above it. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'd like to see the minor buy side hit, but it's up so much. I mean, what if this daily candle closes below the midpoint? It has all day to do so. It has all day to come back down and get it closed below the midpoint, and then this would still be holding as bearish, potentially. This whole move happened overnight. They'll want to run price back over that during the regular trading hours, at least to the midpoint. So it's tough. I don't know. I am bullish. I want to see these highs met, but then you look at ES. If we take a look at ES, just go to the daily chart. Goodness, I mean, ES has already taken these highs. Isn't that insane? I mean, look at this. It's insane. Q has this bearish S&T. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It's really hard to know, to have like a really strong idea on what it wants to do, because I could see it just pumping higher. I could see it retracing and offering some sort of discount before like pumping up and taking the highs. All right. A lot of rambling. I was looking at, pull up this other chart here. Studying the daily chart. This is really interesting. I was just looking at this move down. You go to a monthly chart. Um, so there's this small monthly inefficiency here. Uh, of course, it could have just traded to the inefficiency and then gone higher. But I think what would be, I mean, there's this bigger monthly inefficiency. I think this one is more interesting. And then if we traded this one, we're also trading below this monthly candle's low, which is nice. The month of May. And so what I did, I didn't measure the inefficiency here. I measured the entire range of this month, of April's range. That's what these really thick black lines are. And so if I think we're going to trade below this month's low, where could it reach for? Well, the first octant is right here. So what I did was I went to the lower time frame. This candle here, there's an inefficiency right here. I don't have that annotated, but from this level to that level, there's an inefficiency on the weekly chart. I guess I could draw it right there, and I'll make it yellow just so it stands out. That is the inefficiency, and it's anchored to that monthly octant right here. This candle that creates it is anchored to the monthly octant, and we traded right to that yellow box on the weekly chart. And then that created the low. And it was just off of that midpoint by a little bit there. Didn't reach the midpoint. So, but that's not even what I was looking at. If I go to the daily, okay, watching this upper octant of that monthly range, it's anchored to this down close candle. So the body of that candle right here is an order block. It was used right here. So the wick reached down to that midpoint and then came up off of it. So I drew that out, this daily order block. And if you look real close, the daily did not close below the midpoint of the order block. It closed above the midpoint by literally one tick. And then this candle opened low, but closed significantly away from it right there. So that's interesting. And then we have this wick. It used the order block here. And the wick is also anchored to that monthly octant as well. So this big wick here, I graded that. That's what the yellow and red line is. So now if we go to let's check a 15-minute. All right. Come down here. So this gray box is that daily order block. This black dotted line is the monthly octant that I've been looking at. And then all these yellow lines, and then the red midpoint is that daily wick. And then look at that. It's pretty perfect. displaced away from it, and then came back down and respected the midpoint of that daily wick. And then you can even go to a 1-minute chart. Maybe. Let's see. There we go. Here's the 1 minute. I think that's pretty impressive. The body's closing above that midpoint there, and that's happening during macro at 4 a.m. And then this was FOMC, this move up and then move down. That's FOMC. Went to the daily order block, displaced away from it, and that wick. And then went to the midpoint of that wick perfectly, and the body's respected it even on a 1-minute chart during macro at 4 a.m. And then this is the run we got off of it. So I think that's really interesting. And all of that is tied to the monthly, the range of April. So April's monthly range, that's measured out. And all of that is tied to the upper octant here. So I think that is really fascinating. Pretty damn close to the low. And then we'll get rid of some of the stuff here. We'll get rid of the order block. I'll keep that wick there. But let's say we wanted to use the weekly inefficiency. Right here. And we'll just label it this. So the weekly inefficiency here anchored to that octant with this candle. There you go. The daily chart couldn't even reach the midpoint at all. So that's really, really interesting. See that move in its entirety on the 15-minute. It's a really, really amazing move off that monthly octant level. So it's just something I found this morning. I was just studying a little bit. Time flies whenever I'm looking at the charts. The market's about to open in 9 minutes now, so that is crazy. This morning we have medium impact news at 10. So I'm going to leave this yellow line here just to note that. It's medium impact. It shouldn't really affect the market much. So we are trading into this daily premium for value gap here. Minor buy side here. We could take it. We might not. Just something to pay attention to. I am wanting to see a move lower into the new day opening gap. Interesting. We snapped up. So we have a bull flag here. And we just snapped up to that first octant and rejected off of it. Both of these black lines are hourly order blocks. I went over here to the hourly chart. This up close candle is that black line, the midpoint. And then this up close candle here. So I just annotated both of them. If we stay below those levels, then we may not take this high. But if we close above them, I could see us running up for the minor buy side, and then we'll watch this upper octant and then the consequence encroachment. But I would love to see some sell side taken. ES has taken daily highs, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So crazy. I mean, look at the move on ES. Absolutely fucking crazy. No sell side take. There's lots of sell side built up down here. 8 o'clock on ES didn't even really offer a move lower. It's truly insane how strong ES is. It's baffling. It's honestly making it confusing to trade NQ because like ES is just on another planet right now. Signed him. Right. Big old wick on the 5-minute there. It could run lower right at open because it had this Judas swing before market open up above this high and went to that octant, failed to reach the order blocks, mean thresholds. So I want to watch this 5-minute wick there. It wouldn't completely shock me if it just ran for this low like right away. Maybe even these lows. We do have the buy side here, pretty close to the market. Watching a 5-second chart as well. Oh. Lots of stacked highs on the 5-second chart during this kind of slow move back down here. Wouldn't be shocked if they kind of run those out and then just come back down right away for these lows. E level there. It's a weekly wick midpoint. It's kind of a lot overlapping, so I'll get rid of that. I've got that on my other chart. All right, that's market open. Came back up real fast. It's that daily octant level. I am just measuring risk to get an idea what I'm working with here. Okay. Cool. So we left these lows. So I think this is a Judas higher. We could run for the buy side. But I like that we're leaving all the sell side here and just running even higher. Because that's just building a premium for smart money to accumulate shorts to come down for the sell side. Want to see this mid gap closure. We do have that medium impact at 10, but that shouldn't really be a big deal. It really shouldn't be. There's a, yeah. Well, that's not helpful, is it? I was trying to be efficient there, but it did some dumb stuff. It's right there at the lower quadrant. There's liquidity as well. I'm just noting that. Kind of two liquidity pools there. So since we're running up like this, I want to see the buy side taken for sure. Be nice if it offered a small discount into an inefficiency. But it could easily just pop straight through them. Oh, there's that first one. This run up has been insane. Absolutely crazy. Right. So both of those have been taken. We'll get rid of that one for sure. Got a body up above that one. Okay. So I want to watch the octant and then the consequence encroachment of this daily for value gap. That's what I'm watching right now. Took this minor buy side, and then we'll take a look at ES real quick. Insane. It's so insane. It's a little volume imbalance there. And there is the, just quickly note that. So we're into that daily volume imbalance. Right, the body's stopped at that octant. That's nice. Just a straight run. That is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna throw a projection using this new day gap. There you go. So the 1.5 and 1.75. Just to see, how far are we reaching above that new day opening gap. Like that wick, that's nice. I think I'd like to see these highs taken, because these are relatively equal, and that will just trap more longs. It would also be nice to fail to reach this consequence encroachment entirely, not even go to it at all. The eyeball this here. I'll make that purple. Are those highs taken? That's nice. I think that's looking pretty good. It's my fill. Idea being, I want it to fail to reach this. Not looking too good. I want it to stay below that. And maybe I should have waited for this candle to close below that black line. But I'm pretty confident this is a Judas swing higher. Might be wrong on my timing. Also, maybe would have been better to try to get in above these highs. But when this wick came in, I thought it might just roll over, but it did get a close above that midpoint. So that's a sign of continuation. So maybe I should have been just a little bit more patient. Yes, is holding this daily volume imbalance. There's also the event horizon of these two projections practically overlapping each other. I want to see a quick move lower here because I really don't want to see this high taken because then my stop is in jeopardy. That's unfortunate. See, it stopped on that wick there. Yeah, I really wanted to see it kind of blow through this here. That happens so fast. Yeah, I think my stop is definitely in jeopardy at this point. Um, it'd be real nice if it failed to reach that, but because it's taken this high, it could reach. Needs to really lose it here. Nice. Want that gap filled in. This gap. Fill that all the way in. Be nice if this up close candle became an order block. I don't like that it's holding. See how it held that and left this open? I don't like that. Don't like that. It needs to lose it. Yes, that's good. I like that it's kind of stabbing above highs. I really want that to be the last one. If it stabs one more time, I'm gonna get stopped. Just to blow through this here. Use this as inversion. Want displacement through that. Really, really fast, quick displacement. Ah, come on. I don't like it's closing above that. It really needs to get through that. I still really like the idea of going lower, but I think my timing is off. I mean, it's obviously off. Shouldn't have to deal with this much drawdown. Alright, now it needs to respect this wick. Needs to stay below this black line and get through this box. It's about macro. Yeah, I'm probably getting stopped. It's unfortunate. Quick. Snapped it quick. Yeah, once it closes above that, it's just definitely done. See how it didn't do anything I wanted it to do? Like everything I said it needed to do, it did the exact opposite. My timing is just off. I am very confident in a move lower. I mean, look at this. Is this not insane? Insane. Be nice to see this used as an inversion for value gap. Five-minute still has an opportunity to close below that midpoint of the daily for value gap. Kind of nice. So that's technically a 16th. It's the midpoint of the consequence encroachment in this octant. We're in macro. Sell side below us, just about 10 o'clock. Should see a reversal at 10 o'clock. I think my timing was just off, unfortunately. I really like how the bodies are staying below that. Liquidity that high. Got a really bad fill. I was trying to get in this because this could be a breakaway gap. I was waiting for a retracement on this candle, but it didn't do it. So this could be a breakaway gap. And I was trying to aim for the inversion, but I got a really bad fill. So that's what happened there. Unfortunate. I really like that. I really like how it behaved at that level. Really bad fill. It's rather unfortunate. I mean, like, I clicked the order when it was here and then it snapped down. That's break-in structure right there. Change it to say delivery. Order block. Inversion for value gap. At the consequence encroachment of the daily. Look at that immediate reaction off that. That's really nice. Really nice. These lows here are really obvious to me. I mean, like, look at this move. Look at this move. It's insane. It'd be nice to see it run lower pretty quick and then just use 10 o'clock to accelerate it. I'd prefer it, because it could kind of chop here up until 10 and then go lower. I'd prefer it go lower sooner rather than later. It should not take this high, so my stop should be fine. The fill is rather unfortunate. Right at 10 o'clock, I want to see it just tank lower. The only people buying this is retail. I didn't want to see that. It closed above the midpoint there, kind of last second of this daily. Hmm. Could just be because of the 10 o'clock little volatility spike, but I would have preferred it stay below that. It needs to go lower, like right now. It did go to the midpoint of this inversion right there. Go ahead and get rid of that. There you go. That's nice. Needs to close below that black line. I have a horrible fill. Horrible. I don't like its wicking here. I really don't like that. I do not like it. I hate these wicks. Wow. It really needs to lose it here. It shouldn't have done this. I don't like that. I really don't. I am contemplating getting out early here for a partial loss. Um, there is bearish SMT. ES is absolutely ripped. But is ES going to take all-time high? Like, I don't know. I'd prefer they deny all-time high and reach for a discount because this move up has been insane. Damn, bro. That's not good. I'm likely getting stopped, unfortunately. Sucks how bad of a fill I got on that entry. Good, we're holding the order block, but that's like the last line of defense here. It should not have come back up above here. I'm really hoping ES is denied all-time high and it goes lower first. Ugh, this sucks. It shouldn't be coming up again. Like it just needs to roll. Yeah, that sucks. Well, uh, damn. Trading's hard, dude. It is hard. This is to me insanely stupid. Like look at this move. It's insane. Um yes, tipped all time high. Okay, so crazy. Gosh, bro. Would not get below that wick. Oh god, it's just so frustrating. Do you have stacked lows here now? But I mean, I'm in drawdown now on the week, yesterday and now today, so it's official. Just sucks, dude. It sucks because I called a move higher last week. I mean, I repeated myself saying, like, calling a move higher last week multiple times. And then I'm shorting this week because it's so strong. It's so insanely strong. I suck at continuation moves. Like, it just seems like, oh, I can't go long. It's in premium. Like, that's always where my mindset is at. But then we get these amazing moves up, and I just cannot capture them. And the fact that this is just grinding higher the way that it is so crazy to me. It's very, very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. It should have gone lower here. I really feel it should have gone lower. Um, I mean, seriously, a brain dead monkey just pressing the buy button this week would be up so much money. Like that's the thing right now. Like it just this is really really difficult whenever it just goes straight in a straight line. Um, yeah, really annoying. Wouldn't have mattered if I had a better fill. I'm getting fully stopped anyway. So frustrating. And I get all these warning signs too. Like I'm getting warnings that it's not going lower and I just don't take a partial loss. Like I don't it's just so frustrating. It's to the point where I have like stacked losses in a row. So I don't want to take a partial because I want the trade to work out because like if I were to get out early for a small loss, but then it turns around and would have worked, that would like put me in such a mental tailspin. So I just like, I just keep the order in and hope for the best, but hope doesn't fucking work. So frustrating. Two full stop outs. It's straight up. Yeah, man. So hard. So unbelievably challenging. No one gets it. No one understands how hard this is. This was looking good. This was looking amazing. The body closed above that, but yeah, it's iffy. I mean, I don't know. There's a little pivot high here that it was taking. In my mind, that's just a sweep of liquidity, and then it displaces lower. This displacement to me overrides the body above this 16th. You know, so very frustrating. At the end of the 10-10 macro. Currently working this little inefficiency, but I don't know. I feel like I should be done. I'm in drawdown. I've been wrong all week. I don't know. Which is annoying because I called this move higher. It. I don't know. It's so hard. Like, I'm trying to not marry a bias. I am long on the market. I called that a week in advance. But, like, I'm wanting to see a discount offered. I don't want to chase it. Chasing it would be marrying a bias, no? Like, I mean, unless you got in here, in my mind, where the fuck do you get in at a discount? Like, I don't know. It just seems so difficult to know. Is it not chasing? Okay. So now my mindset is, well, let's shoot for a short into discount and target minor sell side. Big new day opening gap. Huge new day opening gap. Filled in zero of it. Rips. That's usually great for shorts. If it just rips straight in the morning, doesn't take sell side, leaves the whole gap open, that's usually pretty good for a 10 o'clock reversal. It's just going straight up. So now I'm marrying the short bias. But I'm trying not to marry the long bias. Like, I'm trying not to marry a bias, but now I'm marrying the short bias. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how hard this is. No one gets it. No one understands. God. I'm telling you, a brain dead monkey could have pressed the buy button at any point this week. Literally any point. He could have bought it at the worst time this week, and he would have made money. So, what does that mean? If you have a brain and you're not brain dead, it's very challenging. uh, I mean, ES just took all-time highs. Is that not crazy? In 4 days. And then NQ, look at NQ. Doesn't make sense to me. It's so hard to understand. The hardest part about doing this is that there are a total of 0 people in your life that you can ask for advice. Because no one does this. You're on your own. If you're confused about something, you just gotta fucking figure it out. People do not understand how fucking hard this is. They just don't. They just don't get it. They never will. Never ever will. Insane. Really frustrating. Um, Gosh. So we're trading into this daily inefficiency. It could reach for these upper gradients and then still close below the midpoint on the day. At this point, that's what I want to look for. I just can't go long in this. Like it goes against everything I stand for. To go long right now. I mean, they're really trying to get to the buy side liquidity before non-farm payroll, which is really interesting to me. That's interesting to me. That tells me that maybe non-farm will send us lower. Maybe. Why would they be in such a rush to get to the buy side before non-farm payroll? Because like not like the buy side's my target. That's my target, and that's where it's going. But it's strange that they're running this quickly. I mean, it's Tuesday morning, and we're already just about there. And ES has taken the all-time high already. And this massive bearish SMT on NQ is strange. It's strange. Do not know. Goodness, this has been pretty annoying, pretty frustrating. I can hardly even see the candlesticks. The range is so large. Like, ugh. I always feel one step behind. I can call something correct. Like last week, for the past 2 weeks, really, I've called the market just perfect for the most part. Obviously, for the like, I'm wrong on some things, but I just wasn't able to capitalize on any of it. And so then I'm thinking I just need to be more confident in my analysis of the market. And so this week I'm trying to, take trades more confidently. If I have an idea, I want to execute on the idea. But this week I've been wrong. So now I'm in drawdown. If yeah, like last week would have been the time to be more aggressive. I don't want to say more aggressive, but just like, I don't know, more confident in executing on a trade. And this week would be the week to not be that way. But I'm just literally I'm flip flopped. Like I don't know. I just feel a step behind all the time. It's exhausting. Hmm. I am exhausted. This move up is it's brain dead. Every time I look at it, it's like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? This shouldn't be happening. This is crazy. It's crazy. Hmm. It's just past my comprehension, my current understanding of the market. It's just like my current understanding of the market uh, is not helping me in this environment right now at all. It's straight up. It's just so annoying. It's so frustrating. And I know I'm so close, like, to just being extremely fucking good at this. It's, I don't know, the room for error feels so small, but it also feels like I'm equally as close to being able to just nail this every single day. I mean, just looking at yesterday, I'm long in the market, and there's really easy buy side above the market. I'm looking for a Judas lower, and then I want to go higher. That's the bias. This was the Judas. It was just like smaller than I expected it to be. That's really it. That's all I was wrong on. The move lower, the initial move lower, was just smaller than I anticipated, which really just translates to my long bias is extremely fucking correct. But because this was just off a little bit, I'm thinking like, well, wait, it's off a little bit. It should go deeper, but it's not going to. And because that small little thing is off in my mind, now my whole perspective is skewed all of a sudden. And I'm trying to short in here to come down to here to then go higher. I mean, just that small little thing like skews my perspective, and then I miss this real easy move up into the buy side, then into this daily inefficiency. I don't capture it, and then I mean today is just extra ridiculous in my mind. It just went straight like that at open. I'm literally thinking to myself, oh, maybe it'll come down and take these lows. Every time I think that, it makes a higher high. Is that not manipulation? Like, I mean, this is crazier to me than like being stuck in a range and it being stuck there for an extremely long period of time. And it's taking highs, taking lows, taking highs, taking lows. You think it's going to run in a direction, but then it snaps back into the range. And it doing that for a month, because it has done that on the daily chart. This move straight up is harder for my mind to comprehend than the daily chart being stuck in a range for a month. Like, this is challenging because it doesn't make sense. The range can make sense. I can make some sense of a range, but like a straight move, my brain just cannot compute it. It's insane. I mean, they are really just running for the daily highs here. That's what they're running for. And any of the sell side in here, they just don't give a shit right now. They really just don't. All this like lower time frame sell side, they're leaving it. They don't want it. They don't care. They have set up structure, liquidity, whatever you want to call it, nicely for a move back down. Lots of stack lows in here, which is interesting. And then obviously all this mess, just nothing getting taken in here. Hmm. I was calling this thing higher down here, by the way. Like, literally, no exaggeration. Um, I called it so good last week, but zero capitalization. I just didn't capitalize. And now this week, now that my bias is playing out, I'm still not capturing it. And I'm hurting myself this time too. Like I'm trying to short. And I don't even think my short ideas are unreasonable. Like they're reasonable expectations. And they're just not being met because this is a straight line. So I just don't know what to do. There's no mentor, there's no coach, there's no boss that you can ask for help. There's nothing. You're by yourself. People do not get how fucking hard this is. Oh, look, it's going for the high. Huh. See, I'm starting to call it. I'm starting to get in sync. God. Oh. So frustrating. I am more confident in shorts today. I mean, the more days in a row that we behave like they cannot pump it forever. They can't. They need to run liquidity for their benefit, for their positions. So the more and more and more and more it pumps like this, the more and more confident I get in a short idea. Um, I mean, that's why I was so aggressive this morning. The fact that it ripped like that immediately, taking no sell side, all it took was this little low. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. Uh, yeah, I feel like if non-farm wasn't on Friday, I feel like if non-farm payroll wasn't on Friday, this week would be completely different for me. I don't think they'd be pumping it in a straight line one direction. If non-farm wasn't on Friday, I think it'd be much normal trading conditions. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just gonna keep throwing these in dog projections. Maybe we'll stop at one eventually. Goodness freaking gracious. And since ES has taken all-time highs now, that bodes well for lower prices. Insane. I'm just like so shocked. I'm so shocked. I don't know. It's just I don't know what to say. all the bodies stayed above the midpoint of this gap, reached for this, reclaimed for value gap, bullish for value gap, and stayed above the midpoint, and then we went and took the high. So it's nice algorithmic delivery there. I like the stack lows in here. 10:30, that's interesting. I like to see highs formed at the half-hour marks. There is a really nice inefficiency lying over top of an octant, daily octant, right there. Oh, it's frustrating. Something else that's really hard is when you're in drawdown, whenever you take losses like that, like 2 back-to-back losses, I want to like fix it. Anybody would. If you trade the markets and you take a loss, you want to fix it. It seems like a problem that needs fixing. And so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking it would be nice to come down to these lows. But it's not going lower. It won't. It refuses to go lower. So, what happens if I try to take a short and then it gets stopped out again? Did I help the problem? Did I even get close to fixing the problem? Did I fix anything? Or did I just make it worse? What if I try to go long? Because I'm thinking, okay, you got me. It's not going lower. I'm going to buy it now. Okay. I'm going to go long somewhere, maybe here. Wherever you think would be a good long. What happens if that's when it turns around? And then you get stopped there too. Did you fix the problem or did you make it worse? So that's where I'm at right now. I want to fix the problem. But in trading isn't the same as real life or like common sense logic that you might have. Common sense everyday logic would be, oh, you see a problem that needs fixing, you should go fix it as soon as possible. Obviously, you don't want to procrastinate fixing the problem. Not in trading. It isn't time to do anything right now. But I have this strong inclination just like in my body, and it's like I need to like fix this thing. But I cannot fix it right now. There's nothing to do. The best thing to do to fix it is to do nothing. That's something else people don't fucking understand about this, and they never, ever, ever, ever will. And doing nothing can be way harder than actively trying to do something to fix the problem. When, like right now I'm in drawdown, okay? And my, normal common sense brain is telling me, well, being down 2 days in a row, I I think 4 trades in a row. Like I think 2 yesterday and 2 today. Full losses, decent amount of drawdown. My brain is thinking, you gotta fix that, obviously. Do something to fix it. Well, doing something would mean trading. But it's not gonna do anything right now. So all I'm doing is putting risk on the table. And it will likely get stopped out, because I don't know what it's gonna fucking do up here. I have no fucking idea. Maybe the lunch macro offers something, but I mean, we saw how that went yesterday, so I don't know. Um, so I'm wanting to do something to fix this drawdown problem. The best thing to do is to sit here and don't touch it. Don't do anything at all. And that is way harder. It can be way harder than actively trying to take trades, put risk on, and fix it. I want to take a trade. That's what I want to do. I don't want to sit here and do nothing. So it is objectively harder to do nothing. That's something people like, and it's straining. Like it is mentally taxing to sit in a situation that's stressful and just sit there and do nothing. And the doing nothing is the stressful part about it. Even. So yeah, I mean, there's just like so many nuances to trading that people that don't trade will simply never understand. You cannot explain it to them. You can't even talk about it with them really, because they just kind of nod their head along. Like if they're nice, maybe they're your friend or family member, they'll kind of nod along and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. They have no fucking clue what they're nodding their head to. They're just being polite. Everyone does that with everything. I mean, people have jobs, and then maybe you don't have that same job and they're talking about something and you're doing the same thing, but you can have a general idea of what they're trying to convey to you. Like you can get it. You've been in like a similar situation maybe, and you can kind of get a vague idea. So you might actually kind of somewhat understand what they are trying to convey with the stressors in their job. With trading, everything is flipped upside down. If they think they understand something, they really don't. Like if you try to explain something that's stressful in trading or whatever, they think they get it, but they don't. And I know they don't actually get it, because when I first started trading, I thought I understood a lot. Because, I feel like I have common sense. I feel like I have a somewhat decent comprehension of common sense, right? Everyone probably thinks that about themselves to a certain degree. And so I got into trading, and I thought things clicked really quickly. Like I'd hear something and I'd think, oh, that makes sense. That's like common sense, duh. And it would like click. And then I'd try to like apply that and it just wouldn't work. It just doesn't work, because just everything that you think works in like a normal job or normal life or whatever, it doesn't work in trading. It is usually the opposite. So, people will think they understand what you're saying. They might not even be lying to you, or, if they're nodding along or saying like, oh no, I get that, I understand. Yeah, like, they might think they get it, but they don't. And then whenever I'm in conversation with anybody about trading, um, like I'll be venting about something, and then they'll say like, "Oh yeah, I get that." Always in that moment, I realize I'm not really talking to anybody. Like they don't get it. Like whenever they say they get it, it then clicks in my head. I'm like, oh no, wait, they don't really get it. I'm kind of just talking to a wall. Like you can really only talk about trading with other traders. And not even then, because most traders aren't going to have the same mindset as you or the same approach as you. So even within like the trading community, good luck finding a group of people that trade the same way you do, have the same mindset as you do, the same ideology as you do, because I mean, it is hard. It's hard. I mean, there's a lot of traders where like I could talk about what I've talked about for the past hour and they won't get it at all. And then there's other traders that would like completely understand. So now try to talk to someone that's never traded before. They're certainly not going to get it. Especially middle-aged people, especially. I feel like younger people that have been around technology and like know how to use a smartphone and the internet and gamers. I feel uh like trading is more of like a legitimized thing to do, I guess, or job. Like if I don't know, they still don't understand anything about trading, but like if you tell them that's what you do, it's like believable. It's like, oh, you basically just work online. Um, like they get that. A middle-aged person that didn't grow up with technology or lived a lot of their life without the internet and all that. If you tell them that you trade the markets, immediately what they'll do is ask for investment advice or something like that. Like, oh, do you have any like, what are some good stocks or whatever to buy? That's what they ask usually immediately. And if that's not the first thing they ask, it would be, oh, well, why don't you just teach me how to do that? I could do that. They're like, oh, why don't you just take my money and make more of it? That's usually the second thing, if not the very first thing that they say. Um, why don't you just tell me what to do and I'll do it? And then I'll make more money. It's that easy, right? Fuck off. Like, you're so fucking ignorant and stupid. Not stupid, just fucking ignorant. And it's like almost rude. Um, and it's just because they don't get it. Like, they're not even close to getting. I feel like younger people have a more inherent sense of like, you can work online and it's a real job. But middle-aged people that have worked like physical labor jobs or maybe didn't grow up with the internet, like I said, for a lot of their lives, they hear I trade the market from home and they immediately like, it's like, oh, well, shit, I'll just quit my job and you can just like teach me how to do it. It's like that type of mindset. Like it's they don't respect it almost. It's like, I don't know, it's almost a joke to them. And they're, most people won't blatantly say something like that, but the way that they will kind of jokingly like talk about it. Like, oh, you can just teach me. It must be easy working at home on your computer. Why don't you just teach me how to press the buttons and I'll make my money into more money, or I'll just give you my money and you can just make it more. And it's like, it must be that easy. Like, your job's easy. That's usually, if I'm talking to specifically a middle-aged guy, that's what they'll start talking about. And it's like, dude, you don't fucking get it. You could never do this. At least with that type of mindset, like, you'd have to have an entire fucking mindset shift. You'd have to lose thousands of dollars of your own money, thousands, before you would start to realize how fucking hard it is. And I've just experienced that a lot with lots of people. Never really with like middle-aged women. They're like a little more respectful, I guess. I don't know. But specifically like middle-aged guys that probably work physical labor stuff, like they have hard jobs, physically hard jobs. They just kind of like, I don't know, brush it off and like, oh, that must be nice. It's not. It's really fucking hard. No one puts money, no one puts their money at risk every single day. The only people that do that are filthy fucking rich. And that is a very, very small amount of people. The majority of people, even if their job is physically demanding or physically difficult, they get to go home every single day with the comfort and ease of a paycheck. A guaranteed paycheck. You don't even have to do a good job, and you'll still get that same paycheck every other week or whenever. That is easy. Mentally. That's easy. It's security, it's comfort, it's, physically demanding, sure. But that is like bliss in my fucking mind, because this is hard. Like, I just lost, let's see, $248 today, plus a $270 loss yesterday. That's a lot of money. That is that's potentially a whole paycheck if you work part-time. That's a lot of money in 2 days. Most people could not fucking handle that. In the past, there would be times where I couldn't handle that and I would need to fix it. And so what would I do? I'd try to fix it. I'd be up in this chart and I'd be taking trades trying to fix it. And then guess what? I make it worse. I'm growing out of that. I don't do that anymore. That's something I've grown out of. But that's something every trader has dealt with. Every successful trader has dealt with that. It's almost like a rite of passage. It's just, you don't go through trading and not deal with that scenario. You're down money, you try to make it back, you dig the hole even deeper. Everybody has done that. But I mean, to lose $250 today, and now I'm just going to sit here and just like sit in that and not do anything about it. And guess what? That's the best thing to do. Vast majority of people could not do that. They'd make it way worse or lose all of their money trying to fix it. And look at the market. It hasn't done shit. I've been rambling. And it's just stuck here now, not doing anything. And I had this huge urge to fix it. It hasn't done shit. I'd be getting chopped back and forth right now. Kind of nice it's stopping at that projection, though. That's nice. So, yeah. Um, I really like making these videos because, like I said, I don't have a mentor. There's ICT, of course, but I can't go to him and ask him anything specific, like today or this past week or this past month, just the entirety of like the situation. I can't explain the nuances of 2 weeks ago and then last week and how I predicted the market perfectly, but I didn't capitalize on. I made a very small amount of money, and then this week I'm wrong, but I was trying to make up for the lack of uh, confidence last week. But now that this week I happen to be wrong, I am like taking losses and what is this market condition? This straight up? How do you predict that? What are they doing? Why is it happening? Like, I can't go to him, explain the nuances of the situation, and then ask for advice. That's not something I can do. That's not something he could offer because there's too many people that would, he can't do that for everybody. So I like making the videos because I can ramble to myself. And I think in these ramblings, there's probably good advice that I'll forget about later on, potentially, right? Unless I write it down or something. But even then, it's like, am I going to go, read the thing? But, I'll review these videos, I'll review my trading, and then I can hear myself giving myself good advice. So, it's a way that I can kind of be my own mentor or advice giver because there isn't anybody else. I just have to figure it out all by my lonesome. So, I do like these videos. And, nobody watches them, which is kind of great. I like that. But because they're getting posted online, people could see them. So that helps me make better decisions because somebody could see it. I don't want to do something stupid and people see it. Uh, so that also helps. It's not doing anything. When this big wick came in earlier, I was mid ramble and I thought, oh, maybe it'll come down. No, nope, 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 nope. There was a moment, I'm just going to throw this in. I mean, this is just like brain dump. Uh, which I think is good. I think I should just brain dump in these videos. It's basically really easy note taking because I don't have to physically write something. Um, whenever it was here, I was wanting to go short, obviously, but I was thinking the liquidity was like up here. So I don't remember exactly where it is. But I'm not going to check. But when we were here, I think liquidity might have already been taken. That's okay. I was thinking, okay, I want this to go lower, but I think it'll take these highs out first. I remember I did say that actually. I didn't say this next part. I was thinking it. I was thinking it would be nice to go long in here for a scalp up to the highs, and then just take a small profit, small scalp. What would that do? Well, I'm in drawdown from yesterday, and it's likely to press up above these highs. If it's going to go lower, even like, I mean, it hasn't gone lower, but even if it's going to go lower, it's still likely to go above these highs. Why? That would trip up more longs on the bull flag, the breakout. And I was in drawdown from yesterday, Monday, and that would mitigate some of that drawdown, just taking a small profit above these highs. I thought about doing it, but then my very next thought was, no, you're in drawdown, your bias is short for the morning, back down to the new day opening gap. Don't try to go long. Just focus on one direction. That's what my mind said right after that. Because I didn't want to force things. I didn't want to try to force fixing yesterday and all that. So that's interesting because that would have been a nice scalp up. I was correct. I thought it would happen. It happened. So what is that? Is that lack of confidence in it coming up for these highs and my like analysis and what it's going to do? Is that a lack of confidence or is that discipline? Because then I said, well, hold on. Focus on one direction. Don't hurt yourself before your setup. This is basically what I was thinking. So is it lack of confidence or is it discipline? I don't know. But that would have been nice. That would have been nice. So that's something that happened in my head that I didn't audibly spew out. I try to just spew out everything because this is supposed to be a recording of my emotions and trading and everything going on in my head. I really like that it's holding that projection there. It's just stopping dead there. It's really clean. There's a body right here above it. But other than that, that's it. That's nice. Bro, are we kidding? Wait, is ES still going higher? It is. That is so crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this wick. This candle on NQ and this candle on ES. NQ, sideways, unable to go higher. ES has been grinding higher the entire time. This has to just be like crazy manipulation, no? Like this is like, it just, I look at it, it makes no sense. Zero. It is crazy to me that ES is grinding so aggressively. It's insane. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't understand. I thought maybe like the old contract, maybe there's a high it hasn't taken yet, but no, it's taken everything. So, I don't know. It's insane. ES is extreme. Also, ES left these equal lows here. I really think because this move up has been so aggressive ahead of non-farm payroll, I think they might use non-farm payroll to send it back down. Just a thought. I'm not super confident in that. Like last week, I was really confident in the market going higher. Me thing is that it going lower off non-farm payroll, it's kind of iffy, but it would be interesting. They've set up a lot of sell side down here, and this move up is just absurd. Absolutely absurd. They're aggressively running out anyone short on the daily chart, and they're definitely tripping retail into going long. Certainly. They're stopping retail shorts aggressively, and then retail will be chasing this higher. They will be. So it's really, really, I don't know, it's interesting. Let's look at the. I think turning off electronic trading hours will better kind of like show my point as to how crazy this is. Look at this gap. Oh, it's so crazy, man. It is so insane. So insane. So let's see. This is Monday. Here. It trips this little low. See all these stack lows too? I mean, you know, I don't think the sell side and then the weekly wick using that as a discount array, I don't think that would be unreasonable. I think that'd be kind of nice for a long setup. But they left all of it. So it's interesting, kind of suspect. We just rip higher. No sell side taken other than right here. And I guess right here a little bit. And then we gap up today and then just rip high. Like, it's so crazy looking at this run up. It just run up and it's grinding, 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 grinding sideways, gap, rip, and now it's just flat. This gap not getting filled in the slightest is just, it's crazy to me. It really is. I don't know. I guess I just needed to just be way more confident. Maybe not confident. I was confident in it going higher. Maybe I just really needed to like not look at shorts at all and just focus on longs. But again, I don't think my short ideas were unreasonable. I think in a normal market condition, maybe when non-farm isn't on Friday, I think in a normal market week, my shorts would have set up nicely, and then I would have had really nice long setups, obvious longs set up. Use the midpoint of this gap there, held it nicely, then ran up the highs. Sell side here. Ah, it's almost lunch macro. Usually I take a break and then come back for lunch macro, but I've just been sitting here the entire time. I kind of want to be done for the day just because I'm down two trades and I don't want to make the drawdown worse. I want to wait for the lunch macro, I really do, but it's been so reluctant to actually run liquidity. I just don't know if it's gonna offer anything. Maybe it offers continuation, but you know, I I feel like I'm doing something wrong if I go long right now. So, I might just have to wait. I just might have to sit with this drawdown for an extended period of time. Hmm. I mean, look at ES. Oh my gosh. Look at Monday. Straight up. ES literally took zero sell side. Like, whenever I say NQ didn't take sell side, it took a little bit of sell side. NQ quite literally didn't take anything. So crazy to look at. It is so crazy. I mean, that's insane. We've really set up nicely for these lows. Honestly, it really has. My short bias is playing out really nicely. Or my long bias is playing out really nicely on the week. But because of how aggressive it has run, I think it's setting up to come back down for non-farm. We'll see, though. We'll see. Well, I don't know if I want to take any trades. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about, really. Um, Lunch macro is coming up in about 20 minutes, but I just don't feel like confident in anything. I don't know. I feel like one of the hardest things that I'm dealing with right now is also like the most subtle, because it isn't the blatantly obvious thing that's bothering me. I mean, the blatant obvious like irritants are the stop outs, the losses, the drawdown, being wrong on the short bias, right? Those are like the obvious ones that are like at the forefront of my mind. But I feel like the biggest one that is really bothering me, it's also like really subtle, really subconscious almost, is calling the move higher last week and then missing all of it. Because that one isn't as obvious. Like, you don't see a minus $250 in your account if you don't take a trade in here and don't capitalize on the move up that you called right? There isn't a blatantly obvious, there's nothing telling you like, hey, you messed this up. It's a lot more like subtle. It's like in the back of my mind. But it's definitely there. Like I know it's there. But it's almost like the losses in here kind of overshadow that. But that's definitely still there. But I do think um, the subconscious irritant of like just missing out on this move when I called it, I feel like that is more irritating, even though it's more subtle and kind of at the back of my mind and not in the front of my mind, which is really strange. It doesn't feel like that should be the thing bothering me the most, but I think it really is. And maybe that is why I have been trying to short. Maybe subconsciously I'm upset I didn't capitalize on this move higher on a subconscious level, and then on a conscious level, maybe I'm like uh, acting out on that by trying to short. Like maybe I don't feel that, but like maybe subconsciously that's why I've been trying to short. But I don't think the short ideas were bad either. I do think this is highly manipulated the way that this is run up so quickly. Oh, so I don't know. These are things I wish I could like talk to somebody about that's experienced, like ICT or, somebody. Maybe they would have similar experiences or whatever, some insight they could share. But, it's just, I don't know. I don't really know what to do with that information. Um, I don't know. Guess we can figure out what it's reaching. Like if it's just going to keep going higher, what's it reaching for? I guess just maybe the high of this inefficiency. That's a nice spot to shoot for, the high. And I guess the next octant. I mean that's I was eyeballing this order block earlier. Okay, the mean threshold's right there. That's interesting. I can note that. Yellow and label it daily order block. Mean threshold. I don't know why ICT calls the midpoint of wicks and inefficiencies consequence encroachment, but then if it's an order block, it's a mean threshold. Something else I wish I could ask him. So there's that. But I guess we just target the high. It's so great. It's so insane how it is just going straight up. It's crazy. Oh. I should probably wind down a little bit. I've been sitting here since 7 a.m. Um, maybe not, maybe 7:30 a.m. is how long I've been sitting here. It's maybe not healthy to just be staring at the chart. I don't want to like, I don't know. There's like, trading is so weird. There's like a mental tolerance, even just sitting here looking at the chart. Because if you think about it, my job is to trade the market. Like I talked about earlier, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. And I think now is the time to be doing nothing. But the longer and longer that I sit here and watch the chart, the more and more and more inclined I am to take some sort of trade, because that is my job. That's really not my job. My job is to make good decisions, not to take trades. But there's like a tolerance. It's like I'm sitting here watching the chart. My common sense brain is telling me I'm not getting anything out of it because I'm sitting here doing quote nothing, and I'm not being quote productive or whatever. Um, it can be productive to watch price, see how it moves, and with no expectation of taking a trade. Um, there's a lot to learn from that, obviously, but there is like a mental tolerance to it as well because you have to be disciplined to not take a trade. Um, and so there is like a mental like threshold, I guess. The longer you sit here and watch the chart, the more and more kind of build up there is to do something, I guess. So I think it might be about that time to just take a break. I don't know if I'll come back later. Um, maybe if I see something I really like, but I mean, it would have to change its tone. Right now, it's doing the same thing it did yesterday. Um, I'm really curious. I'm sure if ICT was trading this week, I'm sure he traded Monday because Monday was really clean for longs up for the buy side and the inefficiency and all that. But today, I really wonder what ICT would have done today. Maybe his perspective would be we're at the low of this daily for value gap, and maybe he wanted to see a move up into it. So maybe he did trade. But I don't know. I don't know. Because I could see that perspective. I could also see big new day opening gap, lots of sell side liquidity. I want to see mid gap closure at a minimum. Or even the upper quadrant at a minimum. A little bit of retracement. And that didn't happen. So I'd be really interested to know what ICT would have done today, and a breakdown of the overnight session from him would be great because these retracements are so small, leaving so much sell side. A breakdown of yesterday's lunch macro would be really helpful as well. If ICT were to break down just the lack of anything for the lunch macro going lower. Um, I don't know why I started talking about all that, but it'd be nice to get some insight from ICT on the past couple days because I've really been struggling in this market condition. Um, at this rate, I mean, the upper octant and the high with the daily for value gap. So what I would be watching, it's showing no signs of slowing down. Where's the next? There you go. All right, so I might come back later after it's done something different, turn off the charts for a while, and take a break. You know, so yeah, I think that'll be it for now.